Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In this week Forex analysis, I'll be sharing my trade plan for the week for EURUSD, the pounds USD, USDJPY, Australia USD, gold, BTC, and US30. So let's dive straight to the analysis. I'll be starting my analysis with the dollar index. The dollar index on my weekly time frame, we still have a bullish structure on the dollar index on the weekly time frame, which is we have this lower low and higher low and this series of higher lows. So this indicates a bullish trend for the dollar index. So long we have this this bullish trend for the dollar index, we can't just jump in because we have a bullish trend. Now we need price to break above this high. Then if price can break above this high, then start looking for continuation of the buy. But if price fail to break this level, this will trigger a sell bar to the downside for the dollar index. So this coming week, we expect price to react to this level. So we expect price to react to this level and give us a clear direction of where the dollar index is expected to go. If there is no break of this level, don't expect any bullish trend for the dollar index. If there's no break, we just see price testing this level, then we'll see a drop for price to this next support, a major swing level for the dollar index. So let's look at the daily time frame of the dollar index. On my daily time frame, you can also see that price also have a bullish structure, which is we have this lower low and higher low, then higher low. So this series of higher low indicate a bullish structure. So we need price to break out this major structure on the daily time frame for us to start looking for a strong bearish trend. But currently we still have a bullish structure. Then for the resumption of the bullish structure on the daily time frame, we need price to break this high, then start creating a series of higher low for us to start looking for possible buying opportunity on the dollar index. So for dollar index for now, for dollar space for now, we remain neutral because we don't have a clear direction for the dollar index for now. So let's look at our next pair. Let's look at the British pounds USD. The British pounds USD on my daily time frame. Let's start on the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, you can see we still have a sideways trend on the pounds USD. So long we still have this sideways trend on the pounds USD, we have to be very cautious about pounds USD for now. For me, I will advise you to stay away from pounds USD until we see a clear breakout of pounds USD. Once we see a clear break below, we start looking for possible decision. For sale, we see a break above, we start making our decision for buying opportunity. So for now, I will advise you to stay clear for the pounds USD for now. So that is why we are constantly having a sideways trend both on the weekly, both on sideways trend on the 4-hour time frame and also on the daily time frame, because the power engine of the weekly or the power engine of the 4-hour chart and the daily chart, they are all engineered by the weekly time frame. Once the weekly time frame is on a sideways trend, it will affect the 4-hour chart and the daily time frame. So for now, we have to stay out of the pounds USD until we see a clearer trend before we can make decision on the pounds USD. So let's look at the next pair. Let's look at our next pair, which is the EURUSD. EURUSD on my daily time frame, you can clearly see that we still have a bullish structure on the EURUSD, guys. We still have a bullish structure on EURUSD. So long we have this bullish structure on EURUSD, we expect price to remain bearish until we see price break out of some level. So let's look at the trend of the market first on EURUSD. You can see we have this higher high, then we have a lower high, and this series of lower high indicate a bearish trend for EURUSD. Then currently we also have price close on this. We have price close on this resistance level. For us to see price close on this resistance level, this is an indication of bearish reversal for the EURUSD to resume the downtrend. But we have a support at this area. We also have a support at this level. So for us to start looking for any selling opportunity, we need price to drop below this level, then wait for a test for us to join the EURUSD sell. So EURUSD on my weekly time frame now is telling me to sell, but the current level we have price on is difficult to sell from. If you are selling, your target to be this area, but we want a proper swing sales where we can make more profit. So we want price to break below this support level, because on this support level we cannot sell from this support level. We can only sell from this area to this support level. Then we can take our profit from this level. But we don't want to sell from that particular areas. We need price to sell below this area, then break below it, then we expect a retest for us to sell majorly for downside for the Euro USD. So let's look at the daily time frame of Euro USD. So on my daily time frame on the Euro USD, we can clearly see that price. We can clearly see that price on Euro USD on the daily time frame. We see have what we see have a bullish structure for inner structure on Euro USD, but the major structure should be bearish on Euro USD. For us to join the sell, which is what the weekly is indicating for us to sell, for us to join the weekly sell, we need a structure of series of lower highs for us to sell Euro USD from the daily time frame. So we need price to take out this low on Euro USD, then retest, then start looking for selling opportunity to this next support area on Euro USD. Once we see a series of low highs on Euro USD on the daily time frame, I'll be joining the sales for Euro USD on the daily time frame. So for now, there's no clear direction for us to sell or buy Euro USD for now. So we have to stay out of trend for now on the Euro USD. So wait for a potential series of lower highs for it to join the Euro USD sales. So let's look at our next pair. Are you a trader still find difficult to have your edge in this financial market? Click the link in description below to book for my one-on-one mentorship, where I will teach you how to properly analyze the chart, how to properly identify your area of interest, and take your trade properly and manage your risk. So the link is in the description below to book my one-on-one mentorship. You can also join my Telegram group in the link also in the description below, where we drop free signals and free analysis weekly. So the link is in the description below to join my Telegram group. So let's continue with the Forex analysis. Let's look at our next pair, which is the Australia USD. So Australia USD on my weekly time frame, we can clearly see we still have a bullish structure on the Australia USD, which is we have this lower low and a series of higher low, then higher low, then higher low, and higher low. So this series of higher lows indicate a bullish structure for the Australia USD, which is a major structure level. Then we have an inner structure on the Australia USD, which is we now have price having this higher high, then a lower high, and a lower high. So long we have this series of lower high inner structure, we need the price to take out of this level, this inner structure level, to start looking for buying opportunity to the top on the Australia USD. But currently we have price close on Australia USD on the weekly time frame on a resistance level. So I don't encourage you for you to buy from this resistance level, guys. I don't encourage you to buy from this resistance level on Australia USD. So we might see price dropping back to these areas on Australia USD. So long price close on this resistance level. So for us to start looking for any possible selling on Australia USD, we need price to break this level, then wait for a test for us to join the sales on Australia USD, because we don't want to trade against the trend. We need price to flow in our direction, which is the trend of the market, for us to join price to flow to the downside. So let's look at the daily time frame of the Australia USD. You can see from the daily time frame of Australia USD, you can see we see our price creating a series of higher low, higher low. So long we have this series of higher low, this is an occasion for a bullish structure on Australia USD on the daily time frame. So, and the weekly is telling us towards to sell. We need a flow of selling opportunity, which is a series of lower highs for us to sell the Australia USD. For now, we can't join the Australia USD sell for now. We need a price flow for us to join the Australia USD sell for now. So we have to stay out of Australia USD on the buys and also on the sells on Australia USD. So let's look at the next pair. Let's look at the next pair, which is the USDJPY. Let's start the analysis from the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, we can clearly see that we still have a bullish structure on USDJPY, which is we have this series of higher low, then higher low. So long we have this series of higher low on the USDJPY, we see expect price to continue to push higher on the USDJPY. So we expect price to move to this resistance area and this resistance area. So we see expect more bullish opportunity for the USDJPY to the top. because we see have a series of higher lows on the USDJPY. So let's go to the daily time frame of the USDJPY. So on the daily time frame of the USDJPY, I will be expecting price to give me a series of higher lows for me to join the buys on USDJPY to the top, guys. Expect price to give us a series of higher lows. Once we see a series of higher lows, guys, we'll be joining the USDJPY to the top. So we expect price to continue to push higher on the USDJPY. So let's look at the next pair, which is the gold USD. The gold USD on my weekly time frame, price close on a weekly resistance level. So long we have price close on this weekly resistance level, this is a sign of price reversal for gold to this next support areas and these support areas. So once we see price break below these support areas, this will trigger a sell to this level on gold USD. So, and let's look at the structure of the gold on the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, you can see we have this lower high and this lower high and this lower high. So long we have this series of lower high, this indicate that the gold on the weekly time frame is a bearish trend for us. So we have to also look for a bearish trend on the daily time frame for us to join the gold sale. So let's look at the daily time frame of gold USD. So on my daily time frame on gold USD, we can clearly see that we currently have an inner structure, which is we have this lower low, then higher low and higher low. So we need price to give us a series of lower highs for us to join the sales on gold USD, because the major structure on gold USD is bearish on the daily time frame. So we see have a bearish structure on gold USD on the daily time, which is we have this lower high, lower high. So this series of lower highs indicate a bearish structure on the gold USD, guys. So long we have this bearish structure on gold USD, we have to look at for more of a selling opportunity on the gold USD. Then we also have a major structural level here. We need price to break it, then start looking for possible buying opportunity to the top for gold USD. But for now, we have to look at is a series of lower highs for us to join the sales on gold USD, guys. So that is for gold USD, guys. Let's look at the next pair, which is BTCUSD. So BTCUSD on my weekly time frame, you can clearly see that we still have a bearish structure on BTCUSD. We need price to come to this resistance area for us to sell to the downside. So we expect price to move to that resistance area for us to make our decision. If price still hold around these support areas, we expect price to break below for us to wait for a test for us to sell the BTC to the downside. So for now, we don't have a clear direction on BTC until we see price moving to that our resistance areas for us to sell BTC, because we still have a bearish structure on the BTC on the weekly time frame. So let's go to the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, we need price to break this high for us to buy to this resistance level for start looking for the selling opportunity on the BTC USD, guys. So let's look at the next pair, which is USDCAD. So the USDCAD, let's start from the weekly time frame. The USDCAD on my weekly time frame, see I have this lower low and a higher low. So long we have this series of these levels of higher lows and price creating another level of higher low at this area. So this is a sign of a bullish structure from the USDCAD. So long we have this structure, our aim is to look at to move the buying opportunity on the USDCAD, guys. So we have to wait for price to give us a clear structure. Then we'll start looking for possible buying opportunity for the USDCAD to the top. With our first target on USDCAD will be this resistance area on the USDCAD. Then our second target will be this level on USDCAD, guys. So let's look at the daily time frame of the USDCAD. So on the daily time frame of USDCAD, you can see we still have a bearish structure, guys. We still have price creating series of lower highs on USDCAD on the daily time frame. So long price creating this bearish structure, we need price to give us a series of higher low for us to buy the USDCAD to the top. We'll be patiently waiting for price to give us that series of higher low for us to buy the USDCAD to the top, because currently we cannot sell from these weekly support areas. It will be very difficult to sell from those weekly support areas, guys. So I don't encourage you to sell from these areas on the USDCAD. So let's look at our next pair, which is the US30. So let's start from the weekly time frame. US30 on my weekly time frame closed above this resistance area on the weekly time frame, guys. So price has converted this particular resistance into a support. The price has converted this resistance into support level. So we need price to retest it, then we start looking for buying opportunity for the US30. You can see from the US30, we have the best structure for buying for US30 for now, which is we have price creating series of higher low on the US30. So let's drop down to the daily time frame of the US30. So on my daily time frame, you can clearly see that we still have we need price on the daily time frame now to give us a clear structure for us to buy the US30, which is a set price to retest this support area. Then we need to get a series of higher low for us to join the buys on the US30 to the top, guys. So this is what we're expecting from the US30. So we have to be patient and wait for price to hit this weekly level and give us a price setup for us to buy the US30 to the top, guys. So let's look at our next pair, which is the USDCHF. USDCHF CMA, one of my best pair with good structure on the weekly time frame. You can clearly see we have this lower low and a series of higher low, So long we have this series of higher low, this is an indication of a bullish structure on the USD. So long we have this bullish structure, our aim is to start looking for more of the buying opportunity on the USDCHF. So with our first target on USDCHF will be this resistance area. So expect price to buy from USDCHF this coming week, guys. Then let's look at the daily time frame of the USDCHF. So on my daily time frame, we see our price creating a series of higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows on USDCHF on the daily time frame. But we have a barrier currently on USDCHF on daily time frame. We have this resistance area, and this resistance area. So we need price to break above this resistance area for us to join the buy. We need price to break above this high, which is we expect price to break above this high, then we expect a retest for us to join the USDCHF buy to the top, guys. So this is what we're expecting from USDCHF, guys. So expect more buys on USDCHF to the top, guys. If you want to take your trading career to the next level, you can book my one-on-one mentorship. The link is in the description below. Then you can also join our Telegram group. The link also in the description below. Then you can also join our VIP group. The link also in the description below. Then we also have the link in below where you get access to a Profame account. The link is in the description below. Antec Profame is one of the leading Profame currently. So get access to Antec Profame by buying a Profame with the link in the description below, where you having a discount code when you buy through my link. You have a discount code when you buy through my link, guys. So click the link in the description below to purchase your Antec Profame account. If you find this analysis helpful, please do it to like this video and subscribe for more trading tips and forex analysis. So see you in my next video.